Speaking of Britain, here is a tweet from Mr. Lammy, the British Foreign Secretary, 103, who met with Marco Rubio yesterday for quite some time, and Mr. Witkoff, and then jetted over to Geneva. The situation in the Middle East remains perilous. We are determined that Iran must never have a nuclear weapon. Meeting with Rubio and Witkoff in the White House today, we discussed how a deal could avoid a deepening conflict. A window now exists within the next 2 weeks to achieve a diplomatic solution. The Europeans, in short, prefer jaw, jaw, jaw to war, war, war. And the president's fortnight pause, some people, including David Sanger of the New York Times, potentially see that as a misdirection and believe there could be an attack during the 2 weeks, maybe even this weekend. But the president, while some are deriding it as Taco Thursday, is getting praised in some quarters for being deliberate and not taking for granted the effectiveness of the bunker busters. Here is Stanley McChrystal on Squawk Box 106.
It's never wrong to take the time to make sure you've thought something through before you do it. We get enamored with the idea of striking all, bunker busting bombs with the idea that a single strike is going to decide something, and it is not. So this is a long-term decision. We need to figure out what long-term outcome we can achieve with Iran, not just with their nuclear program, but with all the things they've been doing in the region for decades now. And we've been looking at this for decades. We've war-gamed potential scenarios about dealing with Iran's nuclear capability for years and years and years. But taking 2 weeks, there's no hurry right now. Israel has clearly created a new opportunity by weakening Iranian air defenses. But the reality is that will stay for a while. And even if they then do a strike with American aircraft, that doesn't end it. There's going to be a day after, and we need to think about what we're going to do and how we'll navigate that.
McChrystal's point of view represents that of many sober military analysts, retired military officials, and at least some of the people advising President Trump. AIPAC, the Washington lobbyists on behalf of Israel and Americans who care about Israel, has a lot of money, and occasionally they spend it on TV ads. Don't know where this is airing besides the DC area, if anywhere, but here's a new TV spot from AIPAC in support of the Trump and Netanyahu alliance. This is 108, please.
It's probably airing at
Iran
bedtime.
cannot have a nuclear weapon.
From day one, President Trump has been clear.
They'd like to talk, but they should have done that before.
Sometimes you have to take a stand against evil, and that's what President Trump understands. And we appreciate, deeply appreciate, the help we're getting from the United States of America.
Iran is not winning this war.
President Trump's strength is making the world safer, standing with our friends, standing up to our...
All right, cut off a little bit there abruptly, but you get the point. Dan, where do you think the president's fortnight timetable leaves things inside his head and for the actions of the United States?
Yeah, I agree with General McChrystal, and actually said something similar on X yesterday. Look, I think he's appropriately nervous. He cannot control and kind of bend the Middle East.
Maybe let's go with cautious or prudent.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I mean, I think he's
not
nervous.
nervous. He's not nervous.
I think he is. Like, this could look. We all, I think, now agree at the end of the week that the big question is really what comes after if they bomb, right? That is where I think he is asking. It's being reported a lot of questions. They're trying to game out. McChrystal said the same thing here. I think he is nervous. He is cautious, right? You don't know what's going to come of this. And so I think he's doing the right thing. There is no rush to do it today versus in, 2 weeks necessarily. And I actually do applaud him. I worry that a lot of U.S. politicians would not have the balls to stand up to the pressure from Netanyahu and kind of domestic politics, like you got to be with Israel. And I think he's doing the right thing to say, like, I'll make the decision when I make the decision. That's good.
Sean, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't share the use of some of those adverbs, adjectives in terms of his state of mind. I think this is what I've been saying all week. He does not want war. He wants them not to have a bomb, and he wants or nuclear capabilities, and he wants to prevent war. That's it, full stop. And part of what yesterday was, there's two things going on. One is the subtle display of military might by flying certain planes publicly, positioning certain assets in a way that everybody knows we're ready to go. We've got it. We can do it. But at the same time, making it clear that like you still have an out, you have an opportunity to do it the right way. And I think he's doing exactly that. The second piece I would say that continues to come out and is the emerging consensus. I would say there's definitely some right and left pieces or right and further right pieces of the MAGA world. But I think there is general consensus that dropping a bomb, taking out nuclear capabilities is not anti-America first. It's the follow-on force where people have a problem. And so I think that's where President Trump is trying to figure out, can I thread this needle? He bought himself 2 weeks. I do agree that the 2 weeks just means anything can happen within. It's sort of it's funny how he threw a shiny nickel out. Like, I'll decide within 2 weeks. And everybody kind of was like, okay, 2 weeks. Like, does that mean that he's got 2 weeks? Is that at the end of 2 weeks, he's going to make it? I mean, like, you know, he really did sort of change the narrative. And I don't think anyone has a clear understanding of what that really meant. Did he just mean something could happen within that window, that at the end of it, I will bomb if they haven't done something, that I will, I mean, to me, what was funny is just, again, everybody bought in on the bait that he put on the lure and no one looked up.
I think that Politico, after being part of the hysterical mob, talking about the divisions within MAGA, today gets it right, which is Bannon, who had lunch with the president yesterday, and Charlie Kirk both now are saying, we trust the president. He's not going to get us into a ground war. If he thinks America first is bombing, great. We're behind that.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.